The Battle of Antietam, or Sharpsburg, followed the battles at Harper's Ferry and South Mountain. The Confederate General Robert E. Lee wanted to move the war north for several reasons: to get military supplies, to cut off the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad, and to threaten unit morale by advancing closer to Washington, D.C. The Battle of Antietam took place in Sharpsburg, Maryland on September 17, 1862. It was known as the bloodiest single day in American history, since there was 22,717 casualties, including dead, injured, and missing. Guess what? John Cook, a Union soldier, was only our age when he fought at Antietam and won a Medal of Honor. He said every young kid can make a difference if they are determined. A photojournalist, Alexander Gardner, took pictures of the battlefield that were the first of their kind. Dr. Jonathan Letterman developed an ambulance corps. The Battle of Antietam showed the successful of the ambulance corps. Even given the large number of casualties, medical personnel were able to remove all of the wounded from the field in just 24 hours. There was a dense fog on the day of the battle that became worse with the gun smoke. General Robert E. Lee led the Confederate soldiers on their first battle on Union or Northern soil. The battle happened in Sharpsburg, Maryland, and was called the Maryland Campaign. General George B. McClellan, who led the Union Army, knew about Lee's plan because two Union soldiers found his marching plans, Special Order 191, which was wrapped around a cigar. 3 battles in one day. Red arrows show Confederate soldiers and how they advanced. Blue arrows show the Union soldiers and how they advanced in the battles. I will be discussing each of these. Battle started early on Wednesday, September 17th at dawn and lasted about 4 hours. The Union Army, led by General Joseph Hooker, attacked the Confederate Army's left flank but was unable to overpower them. The Confederate soldiers led a counterattack across David Miller's cornfield in the West Woods. General Joseph Hooper said, "In the time that I am writing, every stalk of corn in the northern and greater part of the field was cut as closely as could have been done with a knife, and the slain lay in the rows precisely as they had stood in their ranks a few moments before. It was never my fortune to witness a more bloody, dismal battlefield." Second assaults, lasting about 3 hours, was around 9:30 along Sucken Road. The Union soldiers pushed the Confederate soldiers back by hitting their center and then turned to hit their right flank before the Confederate Army stopped them. McClellan's army had the advantage but did not take it. Due to 5,600 casualties, the name war changed from Sunken Road to Bloody Lane. Later in the day, the third assault took place and lasted about 3 hours. Major General Ambrose Burnside led the Union Army across Antietam Creek via the Stone Bridge seen here. They hit Lee's right flank. They were overpowering the Confederate Army until the Confederate reinforcements led by A.P. Hill counterattacked. Overall, the battles of Antietam had lasted about 12 hours. After further skirmishes, Lee withdrew over the Potomac to Virginia. 7,650 American soldiers were killed in that one day. So who won? The Battle of Antietam had no clear victor, but it was declared a tactical victory for the Union since General Lee had retreated over the Potomac River and moved south. What was the significance of the war? This war was said to have changed the course of history. If General Lee had not been stopped, he may have advanced into Maryland or Pennsylvania or Washington, D.C., Union territory. If General McClellan had not been so cautious or wimpish, he might have ended the war if he had taken advantages of Lee's retreat. Winning the Battle of Antietam allowed President Lincoln to introduce the Emancipation Proclamation, which helped to free some slaves. This Emancipation Proclamation showed Americans and the world that civil war being fought to end slavery. General McClellan was cautious general. On several occasions did not take his advantages, such as when he did not fight Lee on September 18th. If he had fought, he might have ended the war. In November 1862, President Lincoln relieved himself of his command.